Thank you. Great to be here tonight. I've actually, things have been going pretty well for me. However, have you ever referred to yourself as a millennial and had someone call you out on it? Was like, you're 35 years old. You remember the Cold War vividly. True millennials don't even remember a time without the internet. You still collect those AOL CDs with 100 free hours of internet on it, just in case. So I've been dating a wonderful girl for 8 months now. Things are going great. She's also not white, which is kind of like a unique experience for me. Everything's going pretty good. I have picked up the weird habit of like once a day kind of quietly saying to myself like, good job, dude, you're totally not racist. Which is gross, right? Like I'm patting myself on the back for being so enlightened for dating outside the master race. Like I never say anything to her, but sometimes when I'm like listening to her talk, I look like I'm listening, but in my head I'm like presenting myself with the NAACP Image Award, like thank you. And she's not black, but I don't know what the Asian version of the NAACP Image Award is. I assume it's like a little statue of Godzilla fighting Manny Pacquiao, and they're like punching each other at the same time, like at the end of Rocky III, so you don't know who wins. So as not to offend anybody. I do like being in a relationship. One of my favorite parts is no more first dates. I despise first dates. One of the worst ones I had was we went to a movie, actually on a first date, and there were like 2 high school kids sitting in front of us in the theater, and they were like goofing around, talking loudly, and she was getting annoyed, and she kept kind of, God bless you, and she kept kind of looking at me like, are you gonna do something about this? So finally, I go like, hey fellas, do you mind? Like the oldest man thing I could possibly think to say. And they stopped talking and looked at me, and then got up and quietly left. And I was like, wow, that went a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. That's pretty, and now I look kind of intimidating to her, like that's cool. But then like 5 minutes later, they come back in with 2 more of their friends, and now there's 4 of them, and they're looking in my direction and pointing directly at me. And I think like, I'm on a first date with this girl. Is she gonna have to watch me blow 4 high school students to get out of a fist fight? Is she gonna look away at least? I mean, this is probably gonna be the worst first date she's ever had. It's definitely gonna be like a top 3 for me, depending on what order I have to circus seal these kids. Hopefully they let me like ease my way into it, like a warm bath. Like I start with like the smallest dick first, and it's like a medium, and then the biggest dick. And it's like a bonus, the 4th one's really small too, like, oh, thank God. After what I've been through tonight, piece of cake. I'll be right there, babies. Save me some soda though, I'm definitely gonna need that. You can have my hot dog, it's probably too soon to jump back on that horse. Let you know a little bit about myself. I'm quite tall, 6'4". I know I'm horrendous at basketball. Can't shoot, can't dribble, can't catch, none of it. And it seems like a waste, right? To be this tall? That's like giving the Pope a 12-inch dick. Like, why bother? He doesn't know how to use it. I've let down many a kid in gym class, trust me, over the years. So I started a new job recently, and I was going around being introduced to everybody, and I met the receptionist, who was this old lady and just like a diehard basketball fan her entire life. And she sees me and she goes like, wow, you're a tall drink of water. You must have been a real nightmare on the basketball court. And I get this from time to time. My response is always like, sure, and kind of hope it doesn't come up again. But now every time I see this lady, she's like, all she wants to do is talk about basketball. Did I see the game last night? How do I think the playoffs are shaping up? Are there any college kids I'm keeping an eye on? This goes on for weeks. Finally, one day, it's just me and her in the break room, and I finish off a can of soda, and I go to throw it in the recycling bin, which is maybe like 5 feet away, and I throw it, and it hits the rim, and then like bounces off every corner on the bin loudly, doesn't go in the recycling bin, falls on the floor, and then just like burps out the last 4 drops of Diet Cherry Fanta onto the ground. And then I look up, and our eyes meet. She saw the whole thing. And the look of like sheer unmitigated disappointment in this lady's face. Like she was 1 or 2 conversations away from offering to like stake me in an underground slam dunk contest. That's been my time. My name's Michael Larios. Thank you.